We've got everything you need right here, but who will get the last word? He's been warming up the past 15 minutes. Now he's ready to go. Open the bullpen door. Poor Nick Hamilton. Do I hear any boos? Okay, you're not Kenley Jansen. And stepping into the batter's box from Fox Sports Radio, good luck getting anything past Jonas Knox. Is it time for Dave Roberts to replace his closer, Jonas?
No, it's not time, because what's the better option in the bullpen? I mean, it's terrible what's happening to Kenley Jansen, the fact that they look like they have a better team now than they've had the past couple of years, and the fact that he's the guy who's sort of the you can't really rely on him like you used to. It's terrible timing, but unfortunately, if you don't have a better option, you got to roll with a veteran.
Oh, it's absolutely time to make a change. I mean, you have everything on the line. You have the playoffs. You have a chance to get to the World Series. And we don't know which Kenley Jansen is going to come out. I mean, is it Harvey Dent or is it Two-Face? We don't know which one is going to come out. We need a consistent closer. Kenley Jansen, once upon a time, was the consistent closer. But maybe need to change the theme music. I don't know what's going on with Kenley, but he needs to get it together quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Well, the thing is this. Would you, if you were Dave Roberts, because he said he's going to stick with Jansen, although Andrew Friedman said some time ago, we're going to take this game by game. We're not going to commit to anybody all the way. We'll just play this thing out. Would you try to go by committee? Would you throw, let's say, Joe Kelly out there, see what he can do in the eighth? If he's strong, let him go 9. I mean, would you work that way?
I would do that. I would work Joe Kelly in, Kenta Maeda, because you have to give this guy some incentive. What incentive is there for Kenley Jansen to get better? If your job is not on the line, if you're not on the hot seat, then what is the incentive?
Yeah, but I don't even think that's the question, because he doesn't want to not be better. I think he's suffering from a lack of confidence, maybe, and we know that he's lost a little on his cutter. And that being said, pushing him is not going to work, because I think he's given you everything he's got.
I mean, look, everybody's on a short leash in the postseason. This is the way that this goes in Major League Baseball. So you give him an opportunity. If he delivers, you roll with him again. If he struggles, you don't have time to wait around. You don't have extended games. These are 5-game or 7-game series from here on out. You lose one, it's a major blow to the entire team, to the mood of the team, a team and a franchise who's already dealt with a lot of terrible finishes to seasons. They thought we're going to go differently. I think it changes the whole aura. You go one game at a time, but you give them the option first.
You can give them the option, but like you said, you rolling the dice, because the deeper you go into the postseason, you don't have time to figure out if this guy's going to get it for you or not. You need to know right now, and right now we don't know which Kenley Jansen is going to show up. Therefore, you have to slide him to the side, say, hey, man, take a couple days off, get yourself together, and then do what you need to do. In the meantime, Joe Kelly, Kenta Maeda, Julio Urias, whoever it is.
Pedro Baez.
Pedro, whoever it is.
Eric Gagne, I mean, is he still around?
No,
we can call him up, though.
Just
Maybe we call him
Sorry
up.
about that.
Of course, most Dodger fans don't know half the guys in the bullpen because they've never seen them pitch. They had a chance last Tuesday. Instead of Spectrum, the Dodgers were on YouTube. Free for all at several points. The game had more than 200,000 views, twice the average viewership on Spectrum. But it doesn't seem to matter. Nobody's clamoring for more Dodger games. Nobody's writing their government officials. It seems everybody's accepted it. 6 years, half the market has not been able to see the Dodgers. 6 years. Doesn't look like it'll change anytime soon. Nick, Dodgers are off to they are one of the best teams in baseball, but half of LA still can't see them. Do people care, or have they just resigned themselves to this fact?
I think people care, but it's like fighting the little man fighting City Hall. What can you do? I mean, nobody else in positions of power are going to do anything they can to try to reverse this law, much like we saw in New York with the New York Yankees and that regime, and that finally got resolved because people in power stepped in. Nobody in power steps in, therefore the fans are at a disadvantage. If you're going to watch YouTube, if you're going to watch any other form of watching the Dodgers, maybe another network, then that's fine. But they don't care. The Dodgers don't care, because if they did, they wouldn't have signed the big deal, and they knew what was coming with the big deal.
When you don't have something for a long time, you're used to not having it. That's just the reality of it. Some people that grow up without money, they either really have to have it when they get older, or they're used to not having it at all when they get older. And I think it's similar to when we didn't have football for 2 decades. There wasn't this clamoring for a team. You were just used to not having them. We've now reached that stage in this whole fiasco. You can't watch them on television. They're just kind of used to it now. It's the way it is.
But interesting, so many people watched on YouTube, and what that tells me, as the business continues to change and things evolve, you're going to see a different model going forward. So many of these events are going to be online. So many people are going to have an opportunity to watch them there or buy them a la carte. If you could spend $5 a month for Dodger games, cost you $5 a month, you could see every game, you would do it.
Yeah.
You absolutely would do
absolutely.
it. And I think that's going to kind of be the model that you're going to be seeing down the road. And if that's the case, people are going to watch everything online.
And look, some of these streaming devices are great and they're handy and you can get right to them on your phone and you can watch them, but they still don't pack the same punch. I loved HBO boxing growing up. If you watch some of these other streaming devices like DAZN, it's great. You can watch them. It doesn't have the same quality that an HBO does. Unfortunately, networks do it better than the streaming devices
Right
do
now.
to this day.
Right now.
Agreed.
They do
Agreed.
it
Right
better.
now. And also, too, you have to look at what the corporations are going to do. The problem is all these corporations are greedy. They do not want to give up or sacrifice what they want to sacrifice for the fans' sake. And when you look at other, companies like AT&T and many others who have DirecTV and others, that's part of the problem because that's the reason why 60% of Southern California can't watch the Dodger games. If they go with your model, Fred, as far as having a la carte, $5 here, $5 there, they'd be amazed at how many fans will want to watch the Dodgers and watch them try to capture a World Series.
Right now, so people seem to be accepting of the fact that some of them cannot see the Dodgers. We can all see the Chargers, but nobody cares about them. Is that why Melvin Gordon's holding out? That's coming up. Ninth inning, game on the line. Let's hand the ball to our local legend. The young man in the spotlight brought the heat for the La Quinta High in Westminster. Won 13 games as a junior, an ERA of .38. Then on to the USC squad, an All-American, pitched 3 seasons for the Trojans, won 24 games. When he left school, third on SC's all-time strikeout list. Good enough to be a first-round pick. And there he is, Ian Kennedy, a starter for more than 11 seasons, moved to the Royals bullpen in June and revived his career. This week, he locked down his 30th save of the season. Pretty impressive for a former 20-game winner, making the most of every opportunity along the way, from La Quinta High to USC to 30 saves for the Royals. Ian Kennedy is this week's local legend.
Got a friend or former classmate that made it to the pros? Tell us about that star athlete and send your photos to Going Roggin at NBCUni.com. They just might be our next local legend.
Now, do you think there's any possibility the Clippers could be the hottest ticket in town? The man with the best seat in the house, Clipper announcer Brian Seaman, joins me in just a bit. Look at everybody, there's a man on the run, and I'm talking about Melvin Gordon. This week he said on Instagram Live that he'll play somewhere this season. We'll see about that. He also said that nobody cared about the Chargers last year, even though they were good. Hate to say it. Probably right. They're having trouble selling out games. Half the fans at Dignity Health are there to watch the other team. To be fair, it doesn't help that the All-Pro running back isn't on the field. Nick, what will it take for Los Angeles to care about the Chargers?
It will take consistent winning. In the words of my man J-Rock, win, 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 win. Bump everything else, win, 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 win. Los Angeles is a town that has 2 of almost everything. So you got to have a consistent amount of wins. You can't just go to the divisional round against the Super Bowl champion New England Patriots and fall apart. You have to bring on wins. You have to bring on star quality. And those 2 things are going to be consistent. If they can do that, then they'll get bandwagons. I mean, you saw what happened with the Kings. LA people weren't Kings fans, like diehard Kings fans.
Well, the ones that are
right.
passionate, but they're in the minority when it comes to the general market.
But look how many bandwagon fans there were, too, during that time as well. We all saw that.
And look, let's be realistic about what happened here. We didn't have football for 20 years, and all of a sudden we got 2 franchises. So it's going to take some time for people to adapt to even having football to begin with, let alone which side to choose. And one of them right now is playing in a soccer stadium. So they're going to need to win Super Bowls. They're going to need to probably win a couple of Super Bowls, and it's going to take time. If the Ravens hadn't won a Super Bowl right when they had gotten to Baltimore almost, when they came from Cleveland being the Browns, then they wouldn't have the fan base and the following they did either.
Fans will want to see the new stadium next season, but if the Chargers can't sell out in Carson, you think they're going to sell out in Inglewood?
Probably not.
Yeah.
And that's just a fact. They don't have the same buzz. And that's why I said it's going to take a little bit of time. And I don't think they should be judged based on the number of empty seats inside the building. I think they should be judged based on the growth and how long it takes for them to get to a point to where people are thinking, we've got to go out and we've got to see the Chargers just like we've got to see the Rams.
Well, they can't sell out Inglewood, but even though it may be the opposing team's fans in there as well, but anybody wants to see a brand new stadium. This is Los Angeles. Anytime there's something brand new of that magnitude, people are going to come in by the droves, even if they're not Charger fans. And then they also, like you said too, Jonas, You have to build a culture. And this is an expansion team that LA is treating them as, because this is Ram country and also Raider country. So you have to build a fan base. Once they build the fan base, keep winning, bring in stars, like I said. Bring in stars, win, and you got a good formula of getting more fans.
Chargers want people to come out, and we want you to stay right where you are.
Rapid Fire is brought to you by Ram 1500, 2019 Motor Trend Truck of the Year.
We talked Dodgers earlier. First three starters in the playoffs: Walker Buehler, Clayton Kershaw, and Hyunjin Ryu. 2 minutes on the clock. All right, what do you do in Game 4, Jonas?
If they're up in the series, if he's healthy, Rich Hill. If they're down in the series, you turn over the rotation, you put the first guy in because it's do or die, and you need wins. Who do you trust the most at the top of the rotation?
Yeah, I'm gonna redo the rotation. If Rich Hill is not available, I'm gonna go on Hyunjin Ryu. He's been money pretty much majority of the year. That's the guy I want, especially with the game on the line and the series on the line. You got to go Hyunjin Ryu.
JD Buzz is teaming up with Michael Jordan to launch a new tequila. Owners of the Celts and Bucks, part of it as well. In the name of research, you buying a bottle?
Oh, absolutely. In the name of research, I'm buying a bottle. In the name of a good time, I'm buying a bottle. Why wouldn't I? I mean, these are millionaires. You know they're going to have a great team behind them. You know they're going to have the best of the best when it comes to formulating this tequila. Of course, I may split a bottle with both of you. I don't know what's going to happen.
Look, I love my mom. She could autograph a can of cat food. I'm not eating it because it's cat food. I'm not a tequila guy. I don't care whose name's on it. Make it a beer, and I'm all in, Fred.
Washington State football coach Mike Leach went on and on about the fiercest mascot in the Pac-12, and here is a taste.
Well, first of all, what kind of mythical powers does a Sun Devil have? We got to consider that. The Trojan, does he have a horse or is he on foot? A buffalo's going to be pretty hard to tangle with. I mean, a buffalo's utterly outstanding.
He went on for another minute and a half. Give me your breakdown. Which Pac-12 mascots wins the Battle Royale, Jonas?
I think it's a Sun Devil. Look, I think that, what is it? Was it like a pitchfork?
Yes.
What do you call? Okay, we'll call
Sparky.
it a pitchfork. That's fine. That's the equivalent to cauliflower ear on a wrestler. If you see that on somebody, don't try that guy in a bar because he's got a background. I'm not messing with the Sun Devil.
I'm going with the buffalo. The buffalo can charge you. The buffalo can spear you. The buffalo can trample over you. I'm going with the buffalo from Colorado.
I love that question, Joe. Jacksonville Jaguars quarterback Gardner Minshew does his pregame stretches in the locker room only wearing his jockstrap. Aren't you happy we painted that picture for you, Nick?
No, I'm not. I'm almost threw up in my mouth when you mentioned that. No, that is horrible. You need to put some dang on clothes on. No, that's ridiculous.
Are you guys buying that story? Come on, he's a rookie. Rookies all of a sudden have carte blanche in Jacksonville to stretch in their jock. It doesn't make any sense. I think that's like a year 2 problem, and I don't believe that it's actually a real story.
Well, we'll deal with it in year 2.
Okay, good.
Guys, good job.
Rapid Fire was brought to you by Ram 1500, 2019 Motor Trend Truck of the Year.